Hey Booktube, it's Bree and this is my channel The Green Eyed Girl Reads. It's my lazy Sunday afternoon, so I thought I would make a quick wrap-up video for February and a little bit of discussion of what I was thinking about reading for March. So February, I thought I hadn't read that much, but turns out I read about the equivalent of what I read in January, which is good. It's a book a week approximately, so I read 4 books. 2 of them were paper and 2 of them were ebooks. The first one that I read was Gameboard of the Gods by Richelle Mead. This is actually an ARC that I got at a pop culture convention last year just for happening to ask if they might have the new one, and they gave it to me. The next 2 are ebooks, and that was I Felt Like a Kiss by Sarra Manning, which was released I think on the 29th of January. I did a review video which I will link down below. The review is about halfway through that video, so yeah, if you can make it through all the other chatter, there's a review at the end. The third book I read for February was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It's also an ebook. I can't remember when I bought it. It's a really popular book on Booktube, which is probably part of the reason why I picked it up. I didn't really like it that much, so I probably won't be looking to read the second book in that series. I think part of my problem was that I hadn't realised that it was YA, so I went in expecting a very different type of high fantasy to the fantasy that I got, and so that's where you get a very opinionated kind of side of I didn't like it because it wasn't what I wanted to read. It kind of happens. Anyway, and I just realised I'm shadowing my face with the book. Anyway, the last book that I read for this month was Gravesite by Charlaine Harris. This is the first book in the HarperConnelly series, which is, I put it down as supernatural suspense. It's my favourite series by Charlaine Harris, and I will probably do a video gushing over them at some point. But anyway, I kind of came around to this cover change from the original ones, and then I found them the first 2 really discounted. Well, someone was getting me some books for Christmas and they were like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, these are discounted and they're awesome, so I got those. And then I might have bought the other 2 to match the series online because I also found them discounted, but that is another conversation for another day. So I finished 4 books, that brings me to 8 in total for 2014. I read 1,442 pages, which brings me to a total of 2,855 pages, which is 22% of my reading goal for this year, which is kind of good, I think. I feel like I'm holding even. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I go overseas, because last year I practically didn't read anything when I went overseas, but I won't be hopefully as stressed out, and I know what to expect, so I will be able to build some reading time into what I do, and I also might read a bit more on the plane. I don't know what I did. I must have watched movies non-stop on the plane over there last time. Currently I am reading, well this afternoon, what I have been curled up with a cup of tea on the veranda with is The Last Man, which is a graphic novel by Brian K. Vaughn. So the basic premise of this is that in 2002 some weird plague, I don't know if we get to an explanation yet because I'm only halfway through, kills off every human and animal with a Y chromosome, so all the male population, reducing the human population by, I can't remember what it was it 52%? 48%? I always forget which way that goes, and basically throwing the world into disorder. There is, however, one man, Yorick, and his male monkey, Ampersand, that survive. And so far we're just following his journey through pretty much a massive mess of America. And it's really good. I'm really interested to see where it goes. And Brian K. Vaughan is also the author of Saga, which won the Hugo last year, which I really want to read as well, and I was told to read this first because Saga is better. My friend had it, I borrowed it, it's good. So for March, I have tentatively made a TBR of 3 books. One of them is The Lies of Locke. Yes, The Lies of Locke by Scott Lynch. I have no idea what that was. I am total loss of thought train. But anyway, keep going. I'm reading that on ebook because I must have seen it on a deal or something, and I'm reading it as part of the Goodreads Buddy Reads group, I think. Anyway, whatever it's called, I shall put the link down below. You can come join, even if you don't have a YouTube channel. I think it's just open to everybody who might want to read, and there's currently, I think, 1 February read and 2 read-alongs. So then, after that, I picked 2 other books. Both of them, you will notice, are new purchases because I'm not very good at not purchasing books. One is Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde, and I'm already about 80 pages into this. I'm really enjoying it. The basic storyline is, I think it described as dystopian or future world, where everything is ruled by a Colortocracy. Lovely pronunciation, Brianna. Anyway, it's just a really interesting take on how the world is kind of all controlled by people depending on how they see colours, and that seems to attribute them characteristics and behaviours and and places in society, and if you step outside of the lines, and it's all like merit points and stuff, and if you step out of line you're sent off to reboot, which doesn't sound particularly pleasant. So the world building on that so far has been really, really good, and I'm hoping to finish it. And the last one I have is Here Be Dragons by Stella Gibbons. Also a new purchase. I'm pretty sure I've read Cold Comfort Farm. I picked this up because I really liked the sound of the storyline, which is just this girl called Nell Seeley moves from sleepy Dorset. So she moves from Dorset to London's Hampstead, and she falls in with a bohemian crowd, and basically coming of age kind of domestic story, I thought. I liked the cover and it sounded really interesting, so I've picked that up and decided to read it much. So that really long convoluted conversation of stuff is basically what my February was, and hopefully what my March will be. Obviously I would like to read 1 more book in March to keep up my 4 books a month, but I thought I would leave that up to chance. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a lovely weekend and have some time to sneak outside or find somewhere cozy to curl up with a book, and maybe if you've got a March to be read, or you want to talk about anything that you read in February, you could leave me a comment down below. Otherwise I will see you next time I make a video. Bye!